Hey everyone, it's Kromtar here. Welcome to the strategy portion of my Masked Hero deck profile. So, the center of this deck revolves around, I'd say, Shadow Mist and Mass Change. Now, Shadow Mists, I'll try and get that in focus so we can all read it together. Okay, if this card is special summoned, you can add one change quick play spell card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one hero monster from your deck to your hand except Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. You can only use one Elemental Hero Shadow Mist effect per turn and only once per turn. So most likely you're going to be using the when it's special summoned, then you're going to get one of these free cards from the deck. So, let's go over the best way to special summon Shadow Mist. So one way is, anytime during the game, call the Haunted. Let's get that back into focus. Call the Haunted, get Shadow Mist, that counts as a special summon, and you're going to get the special Mass Change. What else? So, when you have a Rhoda, you're going to search for Goblinbergh almost every time. So its effect is, when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand, then change this card to defense position if you activate its effect. So what you're going to do, if you don't already have this in your hand, you're going to Rhoda Goblinbergh onto the field. You're going to special summon Shadow Mist. You're going to search your deck for either Mass Change or Mass Change 2. And you're going to change that to Dark Law. So the reason Dark Law is so good is, it's not overpowered or anything like that, but it's really, really good, and if the opponent isn't prepared for it, it can do a lot of good stuff for you. So its main effect is must be special summoned with Mass Change. It cannot be special summoned by either way, so you can't use Call the Haunted to get this back into the field. So any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. Once per turn, if your opponent adds a card, so if it uses a draw powering effect, from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase or the damage step, you can banish one random card from your opponent's hand. So, I've always wanted to play this against an Exciton deck, get this out first turn, and just laugh at them, because there's nothing they can do. The entire deck is draw power, so you're just going to be discarding into the banish pile. Nothing they can do. And it has 24 attack and 1800 defense, so it's not impossible for the opponent to get over. So that's why you run multiple of these Dark Laws. So, let's go over our next strategy. So yeah, Shadow Mist, you run 3 of these. That's mandatory for sure. And so, I run 5 normal Elemental Hero cards. The reason for that is so, when I'm using Oversoul, that allows me to have 5 different cards. And where is it? Miracle Fusion. I can Miracle Fuse. If any of these cards are in the graveyard, I can use Miracle Fusion and get First of the Dragons. Now, First of the Dragons effect is must be summoned, fusion summon in other ways. You can only control one Fist of Dragons. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, except by cards with a normal monster. And it's unaffected by other monster effects. So pretty much, this card is only going to get taken out by Blue Eyes White Dragon, in terms of battle. Or unless they use Fiendish Chain, and then just totally negates effect. But that's why I play him. And then say, Dark Law goes in the graveyard, and say you have Divine Wind goes in the graveyard. No, yeah, we want Masked Hero. And then we use Miracle Fusion, and we get Contrast Hero Chaos. So if your Masked Heroes go into the graveyard, it's not the worst thing, because Contrast Hero Chaos is a beast. First of all, it's at 3000 attack, 2600 defense. So its requirements are 2 Masked Hero monsters. This card is always treated as an Elemental Hero card, so that bit of tax is really, really important actually. Must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. While face up on the field, this card is also light attribute. so not crucial, but it can come in handy for different effects. Once per turn, during other player's turn, you can target one face-up card in the field, negate that target's effects until the end of the turn. So that's why this card is good. So let's go into another couple other. Is Divine Wind the one that's immune? So let's go over a couple other fusion cards. So Divine Winds cannot be destroyed by battle. Your opponent can attack with only one monster during each battle phase. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to graveyard, you can draw one card. So that's pretty handy. So let's go Absolute Zero. This card gains 500 attack for each face-up water monster in their field except Elemental Hill Absolute Zero. When this card leaves the field, destroy all monster your opponent controls. So your opponent would be pretty stupid not to get rid of this card tactically. We have Great Tornado. I am still yet to summon this one, but it must be fusion summoned. It cannot be special summoned other ways. When this card is fusion summoned, have the attack and defense of all face-up monster your opponent controls. So we have Masked Hero Koga. I like this one a lot, actually. This card gains 500 attack for each monster your opponent controls. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can banish one hero monster from your graveyard, and then target one face-up monster in the field, and that target has half the attack the monster banished to deactivate the zone. So, say I have Neos Alius in the graveyard, and say the opponent has a 3000 beater. I banish this card. That beater loses 1900 points. And then I can safely swing with Masked Hero Koga and don't have to worry about a thing. And then another Law, and the Ragnazero, I just have as options. Exciton Knight, again, just options. Okay, so it's one more tactic. If you have Summoner Monk, I don't like relying on this card that much because you have to discard spell cards in order to activate its effect. So if you're not familiar with this card already, while this card is face up on the field, it cannot be tributed. If this card is normal or flip summon, change this card to defense position. Once per turn, you can discard one spell card, special summon one level 4 monster from your deck, but that monster cannot attack this turn, which isn't important. So yeah, with this one, you're going to be discarding a spell card and special summoning Shadow Mist. Okay, let's just make sure I have all the... If you have any suggestions for traps, I'm not married to any of these, except for Call the Haunted and Phoenix Chain. Those are my staples. 8 Forces, most people don't like using this really old card, but I still like it a lot, and it gives your basic elemental heroes a lot of attack potential. Then... yeah, and so Mass Change. So if you don't have a Miracle Fusion in hand, you're going to want to use this. Target one hero monster and one change quick spell card in your graveyard and add them both to your hand. So you can potentially do a lot of damage. You can get a lot of Masked Hero cards out there, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this different kind of formats, please let me know in the comment section. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.